A Yachtsman's Alibi.
I've often remarked,
said Professor Fordney, in an expansive mood,
how very difficult it is to fake an alibi without someone's assistance. A case in point is a messy affair we cleared up recently. I didn't definitely suspect Picus when I happened to bump into him at the 4th of July parade, the morning after an acquaintance of his had been found dead under suspicious circumstances. I rather casually asked him where he had been and what he had been doing the previous afternoon about 4 o'clock, the apparent time of the man's death. He related the following story.
I took my sailboat out about noon yesterday. It was great on the water. Around 3 o'clock, however, when I was perhaps 10 miles out, the wind died down completely. There wasn't a breath of air, and I knew that, unless I could attract some boat, I was in for an uncomfortable time. Remembering that the international distress signal is a flag flown upside down, I ran mine up to the top of the mast in that manner. Thank God it was a clear day. In about an hour the steamer Leon hove to, and I went aboard her after securing my boat with a tow line. The captain said he had seen my distress signal about 4 miles away, and would put me ashore at Gladsome Landing. He did so, and, as there was no one about, I hailed a passing motorist who gave me a lift back to town. Imagine my surprise when I read in the paper this morning that the Leon had been sunk in a storm after putting me ashore, and all hands had been lost.
While I knew,
remarked the professor,
that the Leon had been sunk with all on board, after hearing Picus's story, I immediately arrested him on suspicion of murder.
What was wrong with Picus's alibi?
Picus's alibi had a critical flaw in it. He stated that he used the international distress signal, which is a flag flown upside down, to attract a passing steamer. However, the fact that he was able to read about the sinking of the Leon in the newspaper the next morning indicates that there were no survivors to communicate his rescue. If everyone on the Leon had perished, how could anyone know about his distress signal and subsequent rescue? Therefore, his story was unlikely to be true, and this inconsistency led to his immediate arrest.
As Picus said there was no breeze, the distress flag would have hung limp against the mast, and the captain could not have seen, at that distance, whether or not the flag was upside down. That's all the professor needed to determine the falsity of his alibi. However, Picus was a poor sailor. While the international distress signal is a flag flown upside down, it is by custom and regulation always flown at half-mast. And the sea charmed into a calm so still that not a wrinkle ruffles her smooth face. Dryden.